Time is money. Money is time. I don't have the time, but I have the money. I don't have the money, but I don't have the time. Stop the cycle. Stop the madness.
Hey guys, this is Janae Noonan, and I'm here with Dr. Jarrett on License to Live. Hit the subscribe, follow the journey. Let's go.
Welcome to the Licensed to Live show, where professionals, doctors, champions, VIPs, attorneys, and those in public office discover strategies that help you restart and gain what is lost when you find yourself accused. If another has doubted your integrity, questioned your credentials, or caused your actions to come under scrutiny, you are in the right place. On the other hand, if you have never felt the knot in the pit of your stomach when legal papers are served, the heartbreak of disappointing your family when the lock clicks shut on handcuffs, or had to appear before a board of review, then be aware, the longer you serve, the more likely you are to find yourself under the microscope of those who judge. Prepare yourself for this uncomfortable possibility. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jarrett Patton.
Welcome to this episode of License to Live, episode number 146. My name is Dr. Jarrett Patton, and I'm your host for our journey together today and every day you choose to listen to this show. If you or anyone you know has been dissed in their career, please invite them to join us along this journey. Just go to your favorite podcast player and hit subscribe. And while you're there, leave some feedback. Give us a rating. We love ratings. We love feedback. We want to know what you're hearing about so we can continue to make this show exactly what you want. Today, we are going to be talking about this time-money continuum. This is a lesson that, well, sometimes it takes people years and years to understand, but a lot of times it ends up being one of the reasons you get stuck in the same place and you can't seem to get out. You can't seem to get the momentum to get you started, and it feels like you're chasing your tail. If you've been there, this episode is for you. I know I've been there. So we will get into the meat of this program right after we finish thanking our sponsors.
Something smells good. EH3 coffee. EH3 coffee. Premium organic. Nothing better than waking up. EH3 in your cup. Premium organic. EH3 coffee. Nothing better than in the middle of your day. EH3 coffee. Premium organic. EH3 coffee.
Hey, this is Dr. Jarrett Patton. Do you need more positivity in your life? No matter what part of your life you want to transform, positive affirmations can help you achieve your goals. But sometimes making permanent changes can be difficult. Designed with you in mind, License to Live, daily affirmations to rebuild your life will inspire and equip you to become the best version of yourself. License to Live, daily affirmations to rebuild your life will set you on the path to changing your mindset, beliefs, speech, and ultimately your actions. You can change your life now by getting your copy at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your finer book retails, or licensedtolive.com. That's licensedtolive.com.
This is Super Bowl champion Mike Logan, and you are listening to License to Live.
Special announcement. July 14th, 15th, 16th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Bellevue Hotel. Licensed to Live. The conference will be in effect 2023. Mark your calendars. Well, yeah, you guys, there's a lot of things that go on in your mind when you're thinking about the time versus money continuum. I mean, what you have to understand, folks, is that time is a commodity. Time, there's only time limited. Go back and listen to what we talked about in episode 143 3, gone too soon. If you really need to get that message again, life is too short. You are only given a certain amount of minutes on this earth, and you need to do the most with them. And so time becomes your most precious commodity in your life, but we don't always treat it like that. Because oftentimes we trade our time for money by way of a job that, may pay you every 2 weeks. You may get some benefits, some health insurance. You definitely get some cash flow. And that is how you're trading your time. And so basically you're getting paid for your time, whatever that rate is, whether it's $15 an hour, whether it's $150 an hour, whether it's $400 or $500 an hour or more. Your time is a commodity. And when you are trading your time for money, which is a fair exchange, at some level that should happen in everybody's life at some point in order to, maybe do the things you want to do. Maybe you like to travel. Maybe you just like to live and exist and keep a roof over your head. No matter what those ambitions are, at some level, we trade our time for money. However, we often undervalue what that number should be or what that time commitment is. And if you do it yourself, you better believe other people will do it. And that comes in the form of, maybe you're not getting paid what you're worth. Maybe you feel like you do a little bit more for the job, for the place than what you get paid. And those feelings are pretty normal. And, every once in a while, if you're lucky, you might get a cost of living adjustment or maybe a flat out raise, maybe a different position or title if you're there. And if you do that, then, hey, that's going to be great. You know what? You'll be able to do exactly what you want to do and live that comfortable life. It won't take that much for you in order to do something different. For instance, let's say you make $200,000 a year, and you're making $200,000 a year by trading, let's say 55 hours of your time dedicated to that work. Now, whatever your job may be, whether you're sitting at a computer, maybe you're seeing patients, maybe you are a talk show host, all of these things, you are being paid based on your time. Now, it may not be a direct hourly wage for many of you. And as you may be executives or aspiring executives or clinicians, you don't necessarily get paid per hour unless it's on some other kind of platform where maybe they pay you by the patient or by the hour or some other metric. And whatever you boil that number down to is what you're getting paid for your time. Now, personally, when I went to Hawaii late last year in 2022, and I told you guys a lot about it in the Standing on the Edge episode, where I just couldn't stand near the edge of that cliff I was hiking on. And you hear all these kinds of adventures back in that episode. But hey, I like to go to Hawaii. I like to travel there. And, it costs money to do so, especially if you live on the East Coast like I do. It's going to cost you some time just to fly out there, and it's going to cost some money in order to live the life. And so at some level, you have to make this concession to trade some of your time for money. But what I'm encouraging you to do is look at your time as a commodity, because you may want to use some of that time back and saying, if it is a time, I could just waste it while I'm not at work and sit there and, scroll through social media or listen to the License to Live podcast, which maybe you're enriching your life, hopefully a little bit, or you can be doing any number of other things, watching your favorite shows on Netflix. I don't care what that is, but there's a value to that as well. And it comes in your well-being plan. It comes in your wellness plan. It may be how you feel and how you end up viewing life. It's part of your lived experience. If you have this finite amount of time. What do you want to do with it? Well, this goes back to making your goals. New year, new career. Think about some of those things that you may want to do with your life and then figure out a way how to get it, because people get into this cycle where they're trading time for money, time for money. They're spending more time for more money. They're spending more time for more money. And then if they stop spending that time for that particular money in that job, then they're left with nothing. So in essence, you have to trade time for money all the time for rest of your life. So you either have to figure out what to do with your money better, so maybe you're not spending so much money, or you need to figure out how to invest your money better so that you can get more returns on your money. So hey, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to even give you advice on that, but that's the framework in which you have to think about it, because if you want more of your time, and my time that I have free is very valuable, because I need to rest. I need to recharge just like everybody else. And if you get stuck in that cycle, you can't even invest in yourself and make something better happen in your life. So think about it. How much is it worth to you? And we'll be back right after these messages.
The time is now to refresh your career. We help doctors, lawyers, executives, and VIPs refresh and restart. Dr. Jarrett's coaching helps you build confidence, gain more credibility, develop more leadership skills, and gain clarity in your career path. Want to climb the executive ladder or branch out on your own? We'll put your career in overdrive. Visit drjarrett.com and sign up for your free strategy session.
Okay, seriously, how much is it worth to you? You can only come up with that number. Some of you may say $15 and that's it, and that's fine. But some of you may think $2,000, $10,000. Yes, that too could be worth it, because guess what? If you were trading your time for $25,000 for 1 hour, you don't have to work as many hours as you thought you needed to. Let's look at even most companies, and the biggest expense in most businesses out there today is the labor cost. So if you could wipe the labor cost off the board, which is people trading their time for money, then you'd be in great shape. However, you might not get any work done. So you have to appreciate those that are doing the work every single day, because it can make the business better. But it is a huge expense in the bottom line of many budgets in many, and I would venture to say most businesses. And the reason that is, well, in order to get things done, people have to be willing to work. So it depends on what level they work, where there may be people in the front line making $18 an hour. The senior executives may be making $25,000 an hour. It all depends, but that labor cost gets in there. And that's what I'm asking you to examine in your own life today, folks. Look at your labor costs. What is your labor cost costing you? Is it costing your family? Is it costing your sanity? Is it costing your happiness? If it's costing you any of these things, you need to take advantage of the offer to make a special, absolutely free strategy session with me at timewithdrjarrett.com, because this is how you can change your outlook, not only on your life, but on your future. Remember, fire starters, if you or anyone you know has been dissed, please invite them to join us along this journey. Simply go to your favorite podcast player and subscribe to License to Live. And while you're there, rate this episode. Let me know what you're thinking about. And hopefully you will start trading your time for money in a different fashion, because that's what we're here about. We're trying to give you ideas to get something bigger in your own life. And in between episodes, hey, check me out on social media everywhere. Spell out the word doctor, J-A, 2 R's, E, 1 T, and we'll see you next time.
No matter how disheartening the moment of accusation sounds, how deep the pain of immobilization stabs, or how bleak your future looks, no one can take away your license to live. Keep Dr. Jarrett's expertise handy and unlock your future. Go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or another podcast player and subscribe right now to Licensed to Live. See you next time.